AAU basketball is the golden ticket for you to play college ball, right? Like if you want to play college ball, the perfect route is for you to go to AAU, right? That's what they say. But what if it's the thing that hurts your chances? Well, in this video, I'm breaking down the pros and the cons of playing AAU basketball, okay? So first and foremost, AAU is known to be about exposure, getting you exposed and getting you the ability to get college coaches to see you and you get in front of them. Say, hey, I'm this player way out in Wyoming or Idaho, wherever you're from, to say, hey, college coach, you should look at me. I will be a great player and a great fit for your team. That's kind of like the overall goal of it. So that's a pro. That's a very good benefit of it. That's a pro benefit of playing AAU basketball. But on the other end, you can still be exposed. There's a con of this. You can be exposed. So imagine that you went and you're cooking some food, your mom's cooking some food, and you got the food and you grabbed it off the skillet. Or you grabbed it without gloves, you end up getting burned. Well, when you get recruited or you get that exposure too early and you're not proven to be ready for that exposure yet, meaning if you're grabbing that skillet while it's still hot, that means your hands, you're not prepared to grab that skillet. It's too hot for you. You're not able to be in that condition to be able to handle that thing. So if you're going to get in front of the college coaches, in front of scouts and say, hey, I'm ready, I'm prepared, but then you're not, you get exposed on the other end because you have a lack of talent. You're not good enough yet for that exposure. It's all right to be a player of potential, but you don't want to be that person that get exposed in the wrong environment and say you have potential, but you're this far behind for these people. And you want to be on their radar, but you don't want to be so far behind, not competing at the same level of those people around you too. So you want to get exposed in the goods and say, hey, coaches, I'm ready. I am a college level player, or I have a great potential to be a college level player with the peers that I have around me right now at this event, at this tournament. I'm competing at this high level too. So you want that exposure, but you don't want the other end of exposure saying, I'm not ready, I'm not good enough yet. Because if you do, you get out there and you get exposed on the other end of it, you're going to get burned. But like I was saying before, another pro is that not only do you get to expose your talent, but you get exposed, you yourself get exposed to other players out there. You get exposed to new talent. You get exposed to a new coach besides your school coach. Especially if you're in a small area, you get to expose to a little bit more and a little bit newer things that you probably aren't used to in your smaller area. That's a great thing because a lot of players get held back by the coaches who still have certain things that are old school and holding players back mentality versus a newer school mentality that adapts. So if you're a 6'4" player in ninth grade, it's hard for you to be in your school system where they're playing you as a big and you're getting rebound and block shots. But if you're trying to play college ball, 6'4" is on the guy's side, 6'4" is a point guard or a shooting guard. Maybe a small forward, depending on the level you're playing at. If you go to a pretty decent travel ball team, now you're playing against other guys who are 6'4", even 6'6", or 6'10". So now you're playing more of your position, more of a wing or a guard. But if you don't have the skills to play as a guard or a wing, it's going to hurt you because you only have big skills. So it's a good chance for you to get exposed and be adapted to more and new environments. But there's a bad part of this too, is that you have some really bad coaches out there who have this position, have these titles without really being that quality of a coach to really train up the talent and get you some level of skill and development going. Because a lot of times these bigger teams aren't really training and developing players. It's really just, hey, we're a platform to get you exposed to go to your next level, what you want to get to. We aren't going to train you, we're not going to prepare you for the next level. We're strictly here to get you promotion, get you exposed to the next level. So it's give and take. If you're a player that needs the training, needs the development, it really does you no good to go to these big platforms and play all this money for these big stages and these big teams to not get the return that you need because you're not getting trained and developed. But if you feel like you're pretty much ready and you got a system around to train you, develop you, and you're prepared for that, then by all means go for it. It's just give and take of what situation you're in to make it make sense. But overall, the average high school player is not ready for tournaments every weekend or big tournaments like that, and you're not practicing, you're not training that well. You might train once a week and it's for 3 or 4 hours. And does that really get you better? Probably not. And so for you guys that aren't ready for that, it's a terrible look for you to go try to play these big AAU teams because you're not getting trained, you're not really getting coached that well, you're not getting developed. You're just getting opportunity to say you got exposure to be in front of these big name and big talent coaches and big name schools that you get a chance to be a part of and be around. And another part of this, another pro of this, the third pro, is that you get to travel. you get the opportunity to get outside your city, get outside your state, and get outside your region sometimes, depending on how big of the team that you have. You're able to travel and go around and go to other places, because a lot of times you don't have the means, or within your house you might not have a chance or the ability to travel like that if you wanted to. But because you're playing travel ball now, you have the opportunity to, finagle situations to where the team might sponsor you, or they able to get fees covered for you. So now you can travel and get outside your city or your state or your region to be able to see more of the country and do more things. That's a beautiful thing that I don't know too many people who don't like traveling just a little bit. So that's a really great pro and great benefit of playing AAU basketball. But on the other end of it, if you don't have the money for it, it can really hurt your pockets. If you're not in a position where people can sponsor you and you don't have things paid for you or like a discount thing, it can really hurt you because you don't have the money to really fund all these things. So you have to pay for probably a new pair of shoes for the team sometimes, not that often anymore, but new pair of shoes. You have to pay for a jersey, you have to pay for travel fees, you have to pay for the tickets in the tournaments, then you got to pay for the whole weekend, and they tax you on that, man. Like, shout out to all my AAU parents, because they be taxing y'all in tournaments, man. I try to watch my players play sometimes. I be second guessing sometimes. It hurts. It hurts to be in the tournaments all weekend. But shout out to the parents who out there supporting your kids, because the tournaments be taxing, so y'all are real ones. But anyway, another con is that it costs a lot of money. Then on top of the travel fees, on top of the jerseys and all things that go into it, a lot of times you have to travel far distance for you to get your player to that team for their practices. So you're talking about gas money, you're talking about waking up 4 or 5 in the morning to travel. There's a lot of things that can go into it that don't make sense for you if you're not that type of player and that caliber of player to make that sacrifice. But overall, it can be a sacrifice. It's not a bad thing, but it's a big sacrifice. And you have to figure out if that sacrifice is worth you taking that risk and taking the opportunity to invest all that money into, versus playing for a smaller team, a more local team, and putting some of that money into training, some of that money into better coaching and better environments for you. It might just be for you to take a vacation and go out and just be a human being for a chance. So that's my 3 pros and 3 cons. But overall, I'll say for this, be very mindful and be very aware of what are you looking to get out of this. You should care way more about the playing time. You should care way more about the development, and you should find a team that practices more than they play. And some of you are probably looking for more for exposure. So this team will play more than they practice, and you get to travel a lot. You need to train as much. You don't need the development as much. You need to train to still sharpen your skills, but you're looking more for exposure. Say, hey, I'm ready. I want my scholarships now. So it's really overall the pros and cons of you weighing that out for you in a situation that you're in to make it make sense for you. Because you can say, well, I feel like I'm a college level player. I feel like I'm ready to I want this D2 school to offer me. I want this Division I school to offer me. So I want the exposure, opportunity to go out there and prove myself and get the chance to say, hey, I'm ready. Put my name on your radar to say, coach, look at me, offer me. I want a chance to play for your program and for your team. But if you're not ready for that, then AAU is going to be more of a development system where you get exposed to just play more, because in your school ball, you're not playing as much. But travel ball, you play a little bit more. You get opportunity to get different coaching where your school coach might be more of the straight shooter, let you pull you on the bench any mistake you make. And the travel ball coach may be a little more laid back, a little more just let you play through some of your mistakes and talk to you calmly and have a conversation around it, versus yelling at you about things. Either it's good or bad, it just is what it is. And so it's really up to you to be aware of who you are, where you are in this journey, and what you're looking to get out of playing travel basketball, because the pros and the cons can flip depending on your situation and where you're at and what you're looking for. But overall, I hope this video helps you out. Hope you found a lot of value in it. Share this with a teammate. Share this with a mom who wants to. If you're trying to figure out what to do with travel ball, what to do with AAU, this video is for you right here. Share it with somebody else who wants to do this. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you watching. Make sure you subscribe. See you on the next one.